B. 7:53 at KNEB. Time for today's News Extra, brought to you by Gering Civic Center. And joining us this morning is Jennifer Baird. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program. Here to talk about MS awareness and an upcoming MS Walk, multiple sclerosis. And when is the walk and how do we get involved?
The walk is actually scheduled for April 25th. You can register either online at the National Multiple Sclerosis Society under upcoming events and then just look for the tab for Scottsbluff for the walk. Or you can register at the YMCA parking lot. That's where we'll start, and then we will head out to the Trails West Camp and back if you can walk that far. Obviously, we appreciate any donations that come with the walk. Those all go to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, hopefully working on a cure.
Working on a cure, for sure. Multiple sclerosis affects a lot of people, affects you?
Yes, it does.
How long have you been diagnosed with it?
Been officially diagnosed for 5 years. Everybody's different. There are 4 types of MS, in fact. Depending on mild to moderate or severe, your MS disability can also be. A lot of people think of multiple sclerosis, they instantly think of a wheelchair. And that's not necessarily true these days with the disease-modifying drugs we have. There are 12 now available. Just a short 5 years ago, there were only 4 to 6, depending on what the FDA approves.
Does getting on it early help, or does that?
The tricky thing about MS is the disease-modifying drugs are made to hopefully make it longer before you progress in your MS. So
hold it at bay.
Right, yeah. Exactly. But everyone is different, sure. So because no two people are alike, they really can't say that, yes, it truly does work. They do a study of hundreds of people, and, hopefully it does work for them. And that's the idea.
And I realize you're not a doctor, but obviously you live it every day.
I do, and I research it a lot. I talk about it a lot. Right now I'm doing my Facebook page dedicated to the month, posting some little tidbits on there. A lot of people don't know what sclerosis means. It's Greek for scars, and how does multiple sclerosis work? So I know last year I talked about the computer cable and how if it's worn through, it short circuits. That's a good way to explain MS.
Yeah. As it attacks the nervous system.
Right, that's correct.
Right. How did you get onto it? How did you know that something was up?
I woke up one morning and my arm was numb. And I attributed it to my neck. I have had an injury to my neck since 1992. I've had nerve problems since then. Seen a chiropractor religiously. I never thought anything of it, except for it never went away. It was like my arm was asleep and it never woke up. And so after about 2 weeks, I thought, well, this is kind of crazy. Better go see the doctor. Went to the chiropractor first. Nothing wrong with my neck. Went to the doctor. Nothing wrong with my neck. MRI, spinal tap later, dun, here I am.
Yeah. Is that the diagnosis, a spinal tap, or is it a blood test, or how do they?
It's there's no blood test, and the actual diagnosis is a neurologist. It's intense to get the actual diagnosis. The MRIs, it's your background, it's how you feel, and then you don't have to have the spinal tap, but indeed the spinal tap does. It's the best way to definitive. Confirm that you have MS, yeah.
Okay. Jennifer Baird, our guest, and we're talking about MS, multiple sclerosis, and we'll be back in a moment.
Why trust a newbie with your special day? The Gering Civic Center, with 21 years of wedding experience, combined with the Meat Shop's 31 years of cooking experience, have earned your respect, with excellent service and delicious food. With a professional staff to assist in planning your special day, call Western Nebraska's premier multifunction facility at 436-6888 or visit us at GeringCivicCenter.com or like us on Facebook.
Couple of minutes left with our guest this morning, Jennifer Baird, on News Extra, visiting about MS awareness, multiple sclerosis walk coming up April 25th. And you also want to give a shout-out to a fellow that's usually here visiting with you, who is a fellow sufferer, Kevin Mooney.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout-out to Kevin Mooney, and obviously he's in my prayers, and get well soon. I hope to see you on the golf course soon, Kevin. Kevin also has MS and was diagnosed recently in the last couple years. Kevin is one of those who tells us he suffers from fatigue. That's a sign. He also has a classic, they say classic, foot drop or gait disturbance. Those are visual things you can see with MS. Fatigue you can't, but most of the time MS is not something you see physically on the outside. So that's a little bit, everybody's a little bit different, but I sure hope Kevin's doing well.
Yeah. Support group here locally?
We do have a support group here locally. We meet on the first Saturday of every month up at the hospital. We use the main entrance on the north side of 42nd Street, and we meet in the first meeting room there on the left-hand side. I encourage everyone to participate in that if you have MS, your significant other, your care partner, your family. It's not like any support group you would normally think of. We do a lot of different things. We get a lot of information from the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. We share that with everybody. So 10 o'clock, first Saturday of every month up there at Regional West.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks for coming by and visiting with us about multiple sclerosis awareness and the MS Walk April 25th here locally.
Thank you.
Jennifer Baird, our guest today on News Extra. That's our program for today. I'm Dennis Ernest. We're up against it at 8 o'clock at KNEB.